In this edition of the Unction between the Clippers and Warriors, the two oldest teams in the NBA, the Warriors, they go out and win by 19 over the Clippers to snap a 7-game losing streak to their counterparts from Southern California with some tremendous defense in the second half and another monster third quarter. You saw Quentin Post set the tone defensively against Ivica Zubac. How about Jimmy Butler controlling the game for most of the second half? And the Warriors, they win on the back end of a back-to-back sweep this doubleheader before hitting the road for 2 in Milwaukee and Indiana. We welcome everybody to Toyota Warriors post-game live here at the Gatehouse in Tri-City. My main man, NBA champion Festus Ezeli. I am Bonte Hill. Clippers fought back in the second quarter, took a 3-point halftime lead, and then it was all Warriors from there.
Absolutely, Bonte. This is a great win for the Warriors because the Clippers are the #1 offensively efficient team in the NBA. And the Warriors just held this team to 36% shooting from the NBA, from the field. This is a game where you win with defense. You hold the Clippers to below 80 points. That is huge, especially on a night when the Warriors were struggling. They were trying to find something offensively. Now, the defense led to offense in the second half, and they hold them to 14 points in the third quarter. This is a win that you can walk away with saying, this is a hard-fought one.
And we discussed the troubles they've had in the first halves in the past against Nuggets, Portland, and, of course, Memphis last night, allowing at least 61 points in those halves. However, tonight the Clippers got off to a slow start, only 25 points in the first quarter. And overall, Fezzi, from the three-point line, they shot 6 of 33. So the Warriors did everything. They protected the paint, and they protected the perimeter.
I thought the Clippers did a good job of exposing the Warriors' inefficiency and inability to score in the paint. You know how you counter that? The Warriors did a great job of getting out in the passing lanes. They were rebounding. Shout out to my man QP. Quentin Post did a great job tonight going against a guy who I think could be an all-star in this league if he gets Zubac. He comes out 12 and 8, hits big shots. Moses Moody hits big shots. Brandon Pajemski aids in the same way that Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler also carrying the torch. I think these young guys are showing more and more that they can carry the torch offensively.
Well, the third quarter are becoming a thing for the Golden State Warriors, and you know all about that, Fezzi Fell, when the Warriors are come out at halftime and just blitz teams, and it happened again tonight, down 57-3. They end the third frame on a 25-6 run. And it led from defense to offense, a lot of deflections, active hands. You got J.K. finishing at the rim. Just all around great team basketball in the third quarter.
This is a bomb right here by Pods. I love the fact that everybody that took the ball, they wanted to make plays for other guys. They were running in transition, the Warriors were. And the way you can do that, not let the Clippers get set, is by getting stops. You see Big Al right there getting the rebound. QP getting in there. 8 big rebounds for Quentin Post. I think this is the collective effort you can build on.
And you see the point differential in 4 wins in that third quarter against the Lakers was a +10. Against the Nuggets, a +9. Tonight, a +18. They outscored the Clippers 32-14 in the third quarter as the Clips just shoot 39% from the floor, and they were 0 for 4 from the three-point line. Meanwhile, the Warriors, they shoot 54.5% in the third quarter, Fezzi.
You know why that's so impressive, Bonte?
Why is
this
that?
is a back-to-back. The Warriors are playing on supposed tired legs. You saw the young guys come out there and really make an imprint in the game in the second half. Steph and Jimmy Butler were scoring. And this is a game where Jimmy didn't get a free throw. Yep. That's his strong point. So what I thought the Clippers were doing in the first half is they were James Harden was getting to the cup. He was getting fouled. And when you get fouled, you stop the play. Now the Warriors have to play against a set defense. You don't want that if you're the Warriors. You want pace, you want space, and the Clippers were doing a good job of slowing the game down. The Warriors did a great job playing without fouling in the second half. That's what happens. You play with defense.
You mentioned James Harden. He scored 20 points at the break. He finished with 20 points. Let's go inside to Chase Center. Fitchibuki standing by with Quentin Post.
So the man of the hour tonight was Quentin Post, who was +34 in your minutes. QP, tell us about the energy, the threes. You were the impetus to kind of this great defensive effort and played big all night.
Yes, sir. Just thankful to Steve, for giving me the opportunity to start tonight. Kind of the first, what is this, game 4, game 5? The first few games I didn't really feel like I had an impact. So to be able to start and have an impact, feels great. And I thought it was really a defensive game. We held them to 79. So great win.
How confident are you feeling defensively? Because you were spectacular on that end. You helping recovers, the contests at the rim. Everybody you were guarding had a really tough time.
No, that's great for me. And it's really a team effort. When I have Jimmy and Draymond in the back talking, it really makes things easier. So, great night.
As many threes as you make, when do you decide to blow a kiss to the crowd versus when do you decide to run back on defense?
Well, I hadn't blown a kiss to the crowd yet, and I've only made 1 3 so far, so I thought I'd pull it out, and it worked tonight.
The schedule kind of dealt you guys a tough hand early on this season, the 2 back-to-backs. You guys have handled it well, the 1 loss against the Blazers, but coming back really strong on the second game of back-to-back. What are those discussions like amongst yourselves when you're talking about the schedule and just getting through these tough times here?
Yeah, I mean, it's super early in the season. I feel like some guys kind of take a few games to really get in rhythm. But I think we have a good flow going on right now. Obviously, it's tough playing all these back-to-back super early on, but I thought we played a good game tonight, and the legs felt pretty fresh for the second game of a back-to-back.
Quentin, what about Dub Nation where they really appreciate the defense? It seems that they got really rolling last night and tonight when you guys dug in defensively, and that fuels your offense. But I would imagine the emotion of the home crowd definitely helped out.
No, 100%. I thought the crowd was great. Crowd was great yesterday, so it makes it a lot easier when you get all these great fans behind you.
Can you speak to the confidence to win any type of game? This was kind of a slower paced game. You held the Clippers to a lower scoring game. Not a ton of free throws for you. Sometimes you're fouling them. Tough moments in the game, runs. What's that confidence like that you guys that have win any type of game?
I think it really speaks to our depth, you see in each one of these wins, somebody else stepped up and played a big role, and I think it really shows that we do have strength in numbers, and every other night someone else is ready to step up.
Quentin, we appreciate you stopping. Go Pack for Milwaukee and Indiana.
Okay, thank you guys. Appreciate
Quentin Post, plus 34, getting it done. The Warriors open the season 4-1. 5 games in 8 days. 4-1 is a great way to start it. They sweep the back-to-back, win the week. All right, 2-0 so far. Beating Memphis, beating the Clippers. Milwaukee and Indiana are on the way as the Warriors will be on the road starting Thursday.
Stacking wins is stacking weeks, Fezzi. I like that model for the Golden State Warriors. And QP had a rough night in Portland last Friday in the start. He showed the clip yesterday where he's getting outran by Donovan Kuminga. But you know what? He must have taken that film session personal because he came out with a vengeance tonight. Back-to-back threes in the first quarter to open up a 10-point lead. 12 points, 8 rebounds. The big fella played pretty big tonight against Zubac and the Clippers.
What I saw was Quentin Post, the enforcer tonight. In addition to the 4 3-pointers that hit from the outside, which is what the Warriors want from him. They want him to space the floor. This is why you start him alongside Jonathan Kuminga. The 8 rebounds, to me, was what told the mindset of Quentin Post coming into this game. You're going against Ivica Zubac. And how do I say it?
Ivica
Zubac. Okay. You're going against Zubac tonight, and this is a guy who, he comes into the game against the Warriors. He's averaging about 20 points and 14
17
rebounds.
to 16 last year in a 4-game sweep.
Almost 20 points and 15 rebounds. Coming into this game, you know that you have your hands full. And as the big guy, you have to do a good job being physical. Zubac, QP did that. He was being physical. He had a lot of energy. He was talking on defense, telling guys to switch, being there early. I love seeing this part of QP's game. If he keeps playing like this, he's going to play more, and the Warriors' offense is going to be even more efficient.
Played with the chip on the shoulder. Submergency. He was talking to Zubac, and I love the way he contested shots. Even when he didn't get to the shot, he contested very well without fouling, Fezzi.
That's what a big guy's supposed to do. You are the last line of defense, and it doesn't matter that you're out there on the perimeter. When you're in the game, you are the center. You're the biggest guy on the floor. So when the defense is going by, when the offense, James Harden, Kawhi Leonard, when these guys get by the guards, your job is to go contest the shots, bother it. The same way Zubac was doing the same thing for the Warriors. I think that he took a step forward tonight, and QP is going to keep playing if he keeps playing defense like this.
Confidence goes up, right? And he knows he's going to get
confidence
minutes.
for him and the team and
Absolutely.
him. I loved it.
Steve Kerr can trust him. And then Jimmy Butler, you get to him. He goes 4-4 in that pivotal third quarter for the Golden State Warriors. He finishes with 21 points. He goes 3-4 from the 3-point line. That's something to monitor moving forward, Fezzi. Jimmy is shooting the 3 a lot better early on in the season than he did when he got traded over from Miami. And he didn't attempt a free throw for the first time in his Warriors career. When he's played at least 30 minutes, there's only been 18 games in his career in which he didn't attempt a free throw, but it didn't matter because he controlled the entire second half.
There's a clip, Bonte, of Jimmy talking to Buddy in practice saying, I can shoot the three. I can shoot the three. And tonight, that's exactly what he did. Jimmy is known for getting to the paint. He's known for getting to the free throw line. But tonight, he's going against a bigger Kawhi Leonard. That advantage is not there, the size advantage, but he has the shot advantage. He's able to space the floor. And tonight, that was beautiful. That was Jimmy, the playmaker and the three-point shooter.
Congrats on 16,000 points for Jimmy buckets.
It's a lot of buckets.
It's a lot of buckets there, Fezzi Feld, but defensively, again, tonight's theme, I think when you look at the offense, the Warriors didn't score 100 points. When they didn't score 100 points last year, their record was not good. But tonight they scored 98, and they hold the Clippers to 79. I thought defensively, the communication led by Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green was really good. We saw Jimmy hitting the passing lanes, contesting without fouling, and that led to some good offense.
Yeah, the non-Steph minutes were very telling tonight because Jimmy and Draymond really anchored that lineup. It was Jimmy, Draymond, you had QP, you had, I think, Buddy one of the times, you said had JK another time. These lineups with both those guys in there, those are the defensive lineups. But when Jimmy's hitting threes, they got to be the defense and the offensive lineups is really, that's where the lead got blown open. I love the fact that these guys can switch. JK can switch with Jimmy. Draymond can switch with Jimmy. So that lineup is really dangerous, especially because those guys can also rebound. They have this interchangeable matchup between them and the Clippers, who are really big. So you can play small. You can play big with Jimmy, and I love the fact that they continue to find the same continuity even with those guys in the lineup.
Collectively, they held Kawhi Leonard to 7 of 17 shooting. Yeah. You need multiple bodies on him because we know the claw is a beast there. But then Stephen Curry. Look, last night Stephen Curry, he didn't take the night off. He scored 11 of his 16 in the first half, and the youngins did the rest. Tonight, I thought Stephen Curry played an all-around solid floor game. You see the 8 assists there, Fezzi, a game high. But I look at the 2 steals and the multiple deflections. In the third quarter, he had a steal that led to a layup. He was active on that end of the floor. And, of course, he gave the Clippers 19 points. Only 2 made threes. But when you get 19-8 and the defense from the chef, that sets the tone for the entire team.
Yeah, one of the first 2 buckets, Bonte, for the Warriors in the second half was from Steph. He just went downhill. He's like, listen, if they're going to pressure me on the outside, I'm going to get to the cup on the inside. I love that from Steph. Because then he pressured the defense to continue to pay attention to him, and then other guys started to eat off of that gravity. This is what we say all the time. Steph is the guy that's the offensive engine. But tonight, he became the defensive engine as well. He got a steal on James Harden. You know how hard that is?
Take James Harden's
I told
pocket.
you, when you're guarding James Harden, you got to put your hands behind your back because everything you do is a foul. And Steph, with that quick twitch, is really setting the tone defensively. I never thought I'd say that, but Steph set the tone defensively tonight.
He was active in that third quarter when the Warriors ended it on a 25-6 run. I want to go back to Jimmy Buckets for a second because he did not shoot the 3-ball well when he got traded over from Miami. So far this season, he's 8 of 14 from the 3-point line. That's another dimension that can open up the floor for others, like a Moses Moody, like a Jonathan Kuminga, like a Stephen Curry.
This is why Jimmy and JK can play well. When they hit those open shots, those catch-and-shoot threes, then you can have Moses Moody, Jimmy Butler, Jonathan Kuminga, Draymond Green on the floor at the same time. That is an offensive lineup, but then that's also an incredible defensive lineup. So Jimmy has to keep taking those shots and he has to keep making those. Each one of those guys, when they make those shots, this lineup gets so much more dangerous and much more effective. Then you can play Steph in that lineup or you can have BP there.
So the Warriors win this back-to-back. They sweep it against Memphis and the LA Clippers, and more importantly, snap their 7-game losing streak to the LA Clippers. They'll now fly to Milwaukee to take on the Greek Freak, Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Milwaukee Bucks. But Rod, I know you want to talk about the big fella, Quentin Post. You're going to make Fezzi proud.
Well, you know what?
I want you on the show all the time.
First off, big man unite. I mean, listen, it's still a big man's game, Fezzi.
Rod,
they tried to take it away from the big fellas, but it's still a big man's game. But I love the fact that with Post, and listen, I think tonight was a referendum on these young guys and whether they could help out in these back-to-back situations. The name of number one, you shout out Quentin Post. I love the early threes, which meant he could stay on the floor, but then he played like a big man with the rebounds. And, you know, we were just talking about a little while ago. He was going back and forth with the Subats. You know, there was no back down in him. So with Post showing that he could stay on the floor, hitting those threes, spread the floor, but then give you that big man energy, give you that big man basketball. I think that was real key tonight, man. And if you get that going forward, you're cooking with gas as far as Post is concerned.
You got a little dog in him
I
tonight.
know you like
it.
Yeah,
I love seeing the big man play like that. That's what you need. You need an enforcer in the middle of the paint. We talk so much about the Warriors playing small ball all the time. Quentin Post is a guy, he's a shooter. But he can play, if he can play like this, if he can play with this same intensity, rebounding, playing defense, blocking shots, then he can get in there with the small ball and then make it put a 7-footer in there with a small ball lineup?
I mean, I think he played Zubac to a draw tonight, quite frankly. I mean, Zubac's still Zubac. He's going to get his. He got his tonight. But it wasn't a whitewash. It wasn't nothing from Quentin Post. He started it, and he kept it going.
Felt like empty calories in that third quarter for Zubac.
Oh, yeah.
When he went 4 for 4 for 8 points because the Warriors were off and running. So you heard Steve Kerr there. He's going to rotate that fifth spot in the starting lineup. Some nights it'll be Quentin Post. Some nights it'll be Brandon Podziemski. And I think both responded. Quentin Post by far looked his best this season. And then Pods is stacked up back-to-back games here against Memphis and the Clippers, Fezzi.
Well, it all depends on what the matchup is going to be, Bonte. If Steve Kerr is going to start Brandon Podziemski or Quentin Post, there are a lot of big teams in the NBA. Brandon Podziemski is also blocking shots, so I don't know if that's a small lineup anymore. I don't know what's going on. I'm loving the intention, the detail. I'm loving the defense, but I'm also loving the chemistry that's developing between these lineups. Brandon tonight was with Draymond and Jimmy. They made a run there with Moses Moody as the shooting guard. These are things that I want to see develop. I want to see the new lineups that Steve Kerr comes up with.
He played like Draymond and Jimmy with the 5 rebounds and the 4 assists. It wasn't about the scoring. You got the scoring from Podziemski last night, but tonight it was an all-around floor game, and I love the energy. I love the sequence of the chase down block on Chris Paul, and then he hit a 3 a little while later. You saw it, right?
House.
You saw it, right? I love the 3 to end the quarter. I just love the energy and the effort. And we talked about it with Kuminga early in the show, that they're not just going, well, if I'm not scoring, I'm not playing. No, okay, if the baskets aren't there, I can still do other things to help the team out, to affect the team. And we saw that from all of the young players. And I want to shout out Moses Moody. Wasn't necessarily big in the scoring department, but you got the energy. You got the effort. He made the hustle plays. And if the Warriors' depth that we saw that was on display tonight, if they could keep that going forward and keep the unction going, it's going to be some fun times here, man.
You worked with Bob Fitzgerald for a very long time.
Too long.
Too long. But you know Fitz would say, it doesn't matter who starts as long as you're getting your minutes.
Yes, sir.
And you saw that. Quentin Post got 25 minutes. Podziemski played 27 minutes. Some people were
like starting. All right,
I get it. But if you're getting 25, 30 minutes on a winning team, everybody's going to be happy, right?
Yeah, I mean, listen, that's when you know you have the coach's trust, all right? When they want you out there at winning time and they want you out there in key moments, and that's when you know you're cooking with gas. So, I mean, tonight was a lot of fun. Obviously, the win and keeping things going through this rough stretch, but we saw some growth tonight. Is this sustainable? That's the one question that everybody's going to have.
All right, get out of here. You keep talking about the big fellas, man. No wing
You
depth.
hate
No
on the bigs, man. You are a point guard. You should be excited about the big man. You got all these lobs you can throw. Come on.
I am excited about that, no doubt. Got AirPods, got Air Congo, QP.
I don't know where AirPods came from. I don't know. No,
That wasn't you?
That wasn't you? Come on. I'm giving them AirPods on that one. Rock, good stuff, man. We'll be checking you out on Dub Song Live.